she's innocent. You can take my word for it.
Then you are guilty.
No. I am not guilty.
Then who struck the colonel down?
It was a just providence that killed him. His own guilty conscience.
I think you'd better explain.
God, if I had smashed his head in, as it was in my heart to do, he would have got only what he deserved from me. No. I never laid a hand on him. I was spared the trouble. I'll tell you my story. There is no cause for me to be ashamed of it. You see me now, with my back like a camel, and my ribs all awry. But there was a time when Corporal Henry Wood was the smartest man in the Royal Mallows.
You were in the same regiment as Colonel Berkeley?
Oh, yes. But he was Sergeant Jim Berkeley then. We were in the same company. And we had something else in common. We were both in love with the same woman, Nancy Devoy.
Yes, the daughter of the regimental sergeant major.
Yeah. There were two men who loved her. But only one whom she loved. You'll laugh when you look at this poor thing huddled in front of the fire and hear me say that it was for my good looks that Nancy loved me. I was the one she loved, all along. But although I had her heart, her father didn't approve of me. I was a harum, scarum, reckless sort of lad. But I was always honest and plain dealing as well. No, Nancy's father wanted her to marry Berkeley. He was careful to keep out of trouble. Always did the right thing. Not like me, who took Nancy to places her father didn't like. Besides, Berkeley had had an education. He was already marked for the sword belt. RSM Devoy naturally thought Berkeley the better match for his daughter. But she remained true to me. And we would have married had it not been for the mutiny.
Why did Nancy Devoy not marry the man she loved?
It was monsoon time, 1857, when the sepoys rose up against the British. The regiment was shut up in Bertie. There were 10,000 rebels round us, pinning us down like terriers round a rat cage. We don't short of food and ammunition. And we had to communicate with General Neal's column that was moving up country. It was our only chance to get help. Our company commander had asked for a volunteer, a fit, strong soldier to slip out of the garrison at dead of night and make contact with the relief column out on the plain beyond. Like a fool, I volunteered. It was a dangerous mission, all right. There were 1,000 lives in peril. But I was thinking of only one of them. Nancy Devoy, a woman I loved, and the finest girl that ever had the breath of life between her lips. Saying goodbye to her was the hardest thing. As we exchanged mementos, I little thought that I was saying goodbye to her for 30 years. It was my rival for Nancy's hand that saw me off on my journey through the enemy lines that night. Sergeant Barclay. Said he knew the lie of the land around the garrison better than any other. While I volunteered to make the journey, Jim Barclay volunteered to advise me on the best route to take. So, just after 10, while my comrades gave me covering fire, I set off. Barclay had told me to follow a stream, which would lead to a gully. This, he said, was the safest way downhill. His directions were perfect, and soon I was wading through icy water that only the day before had been snow in the Himalayas. I could see the lights and fires in the rebels' camp, but I kept well down, out of sight of their sentry posts. I came to the gully and thought I was safe. But then it happened. I was attacked. Something hard cracked down on my head. Then everything spun round. When I came to, I was trussed up like a chicken and hanging from a tree. My arms felt as though they were being wrenched out of their sockets. I didn't mind the pain, but I was sick at heart for having failed in my mission. What would be the fate of those I had been trying to save? But the biggest blow came as I listened to what I could understand of the rebels' talk. I heard enough to realize that I had been betrayed. The very man who had shown me the way to take had betrayed me to the enemy. Barclay had got rid of me to make sure he could have my girl. Now, you know what James Barclay was capable of. Turned out, the general news column was already on its way to relieve Bertie. The rebels were retreating. They dragged me away with them. I was tortured, tried to escape, was tortured again. It was to be many a long year before I saw another white face. My captors fled north, further into the hills, and used me as a sort of slave. I was treated worse than a dog, and they damn near broke every bone in my body. Sometimes I'd wish they'd just killed me. But my thoughts of hatred and loathing for the man who destroyed my life kept me going. I dreamed of revenge on Barclay. One day, some Afghan tribesmen murdered the rebels who held me prisoner. They left me for dead too. But by a miracle, I still lived. So, I had my revenge on my torturers. But Barclay was beyond my grasp. And what of Nancy? I had no means of knowing whether she was alive or dead. I wandered back to the Punjab and lived among the natives, picking up a living by the conjuring tricks I'd learned from the street magicians. What use was it for me, a wretched cripple, to get passage back by ship to England and make myself known to my comrades in the regiment? Even the desire to have my revenge on Jim Barclay didn't make me go. And why? I'll tell you straight. I preferred my Nancy and my old pals in the Royal Mallows to go on believing that Harry Wood died a hero's death with a straight back and see him crawling about the world more like a chimpanzee than a human being.
But you did return. And to all the shot where your old regiment was stationed. Why?
I just wanted to see the old country once more before I died. I saved what I could. And eventually, I got a show. I didn't know the regiment was stationed here in Aldershot. I just wanted to be where there were soldiers. I could earn my keep, going around the canteens, doing my tricks to entertain them. And I no longer wanted to kill Barclay. The fires of revenge had burnt low over the years. Until I saw her. I thought I'd better get some English togs. I look comical enough without wearing these foreign clothes the whole time. At first, I was more interested in finding a thick overcoat than looking at the charity ladies who were doling them out. Then, one of them came over. I recognized her at once. She'd hardly changed. Still beautiful. What's more amazing is she seemed to know me.
Good evening. Can I help you? Have you been able to find anything that... I'm sorry, I thought I...
Nancy, it is me. Don't be afraid.
I thought you had been dead these 30 years.
I have been. I swore you'd never seen me like this. We spoke for a moment or two together. I told her some of my story. I should have spared telling her that her husband was a traitor, but it all came pouring out of me, 30 years of hate. She was so affected by what I said. I couldn't stand it. I went outside. Then I saw her come out of the mission, and I followed her home. I saw her go into the house. A light came on. I saw her sitting in a chair. And then he came into the room.
James, I've got to talk to you. What are you looking back for?
Don't be back late, I said. Don't be back late.